Okay, so this was just brought to my attention how long ago? When was the last time I did a video on Pokemon? I don't know if it was like a year or two or whatever have you. It was for the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon. And, was it Sun and Moon? No, it was Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's the one. Sword and Shield. I'm gonna get my Switch out just to sort of like please the naysayers, because of course there are the peeps who are out there who are like, hey, bit cute. You know, every time when I make statements about whenever I talk about Pokemon, people always come to tell me, oh, you don't got Pokemon, you can't talk shit. You know, you don't have the game, so you can't talk shit about it, right? So let me just there we go. So as you can see, let me hope my camera focuses. That there, is it focusing? Come on, camera, focus. Which one is it? That one is Pokemon Sword, right? So go Pokemon Sword on my Switch. There we go. I can commence with talking shit. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So I just got a phone call, right? My bro just calls me, right? He's like, bruh, have you seen the new Pokemon thing? And I'm like, what new Pokemon thing? He's like, there's a new Pokemon game. And it's like, you gotta eat your words. And I'm like, eat my words? Like how? Why? Why would I have to eat my words? He's like, well, you were saying you'd never, play a Pokemon game seriously ever again, and, you're always talking about Pokemon ain't shit no more. So I'm like, oh, really? And so he made a new game. And I'm so like, the first question I ask, obviously, is like, has the gameplay changed? Have they changed the battle system? And it's like, oh, it's like, it's got new things and no gyms and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's the name of it? He's like, something Arceus something, right? So I hop on YouTube, I pull up Pokemon, and I go to the Pokemon channel and all that kind of blah blah bloops, and I'm checking out this new Pokemon game. So this is me checking out the new Pokemon game for the second time. I've seen it once already, and I have opinions already based on the fact that I've seen it already. You know what? I should get more light in here, shouldn't I? It's a bit dim. Let's see if I can get more light on me. I've got a light I've been using for when I stream. Let's see if we can get some light on me here. So it's not all that dark, because this room is dark at night. Ah, better! Yes, we've got some light. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this new Pokemon game, and we're gonna figure out what it's about and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm gonna give you guys my opinion so far on what I think of this new Pokemon Legend Arceus. Okay? And I've got opinions, as I say. I've got opinions. But okay. So, Pokemon did a direct. This is a Pokemon direct. Now, I didn't actually listen to anything they had to say in it, really. I just listened to, like, brief stuff. I didn't watch the whole thing. Because, again, I don't care about Pokemon. Pokemon ain't shit. Right? So, we're gonna pause this and we're just gonna scroll through. So, they go through the whole, like sort of like chronology of Pokemon and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. And I've owned pretty much most, if not all, of the Pokemon games. I bought systems for Pokemon. I had X and Y, Pokemon Y. I think I still have Y, if I'm correct. I believe I still have a copy. Do I? Or have I given it away? I do. It's digital. The only thing is I don't have a charger for my DS. So my DS has no charger. If we take a look. Okay. DS. 3DS, sorry. There we go. Haven't used this in a while. I don't know where to charge it. It's somewhere around the house. I'll have to find it. Either way, we are going to talk some shit. So I've been looking forward to talking shit about something for a while, so let me talk some shit. Alright, so he goes through all the Pokemon games and all that kind of stuff, you go to the painting games and all that kind of stuff, and everyone's like, hey, Pokemon is shit, and then they show you all these sort of stuff. Now, again, I enjoyed Pokemon as a kid. Pokemon was the shit for me back as a kid. I always just say, when I have kids, my kids, their first game is gonna have to be Pokemon, because, Pokemon was the shit back then. And then I realized Pokemon ain't shit, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna put my kids through that suffering. They'll just get accustomed to it, and then they'll be expecting it to evolve and get better, and they'll be stuck playing trash. And I don't believe in that trash tier garbage. You know, the game never evolves, the animation never evolves, and so on. And actually, when I got the phone call, I actually thought it was talking about the animation. Actually, I thought there was a new Pokemon anime, and I was like, oh, you know, like they sort of like aged Ash Ketchum or something. You know, so this is Pokemon Snap, right? I'm gonna just give you guys initial opinions, like brief opinions of Pokemon Snap. One, I have zero interest in Pokemon Snap. I didn't play the original back in the day, and I don't care. Like, I have zero interest in this particular Pokemon variation. My favorite Pokemon sort of variation is Mystery Dungeon, to be honest. I like the Mystery Dungeon games. And the last one I actually purchased was a Mystery Dungeon game. The one that was on 3DS. That was the last Pokemon game I actually purchased outside, because I didn't even purchase Sword and Shield. That was gifted to me by my mate Chris, who is a Banff. He gifted it to me, knowing that the only reason I wanted it was to talk shit. So thank you, Chris, for allowing me to talk shit about Pokemon. All right, and he's a huge fan of the game. So this is the one that I saw, and I was like, bruh, they haven't remade Pokemon. They've just like given it a new palette swap, right? So this is Diamond and Pearl, the remakes, right? Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, whatchamacallit, blah blah blah, right? So this is the new Diamond and Pearl game. It's got, what do you call it? It's got like, let me give you some audio for here, you know. All right. So it's got new sort of like up-res graphics to fit like the new Pokemon, the Sword and Shield graphical style, but with the models and characters from Diamond and Pearl, right? Granted, a bit not as up-res. The character models aren't as up-res as Sword and Shield. They're sort of chibi, and I mean that like when they're walking around the overworld. The rest of it, like the battle system and everything like that, looks exactly like Sword and Shield as far as I'm concerned. This looks like Sword and Shield, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl style. So when I saw this, right, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, right, Shining Pearl. I saw this and I was like, bruh, you can't call me for this shit. You know I'm just gonna come on the internet and talk shit about Pokemon. I don't care about this shit. Like, dude, you are putting me in a position where I can just talk smack about this. And he's like, no, that's not the one. The one after that. The one after that, though. So I'm like, yeah, what one after that? And then they start with this. This is where it starts here. But another story awaits. You know, you're like, oh, what is this? Pokemon Series enters a new era. So you say, era. Ooh la la, interesting, enticing. Ugh. And then you see this, and first thing I notice is like not actual gameplay footage. So I'm like, oh, okay, so this isn't gameplay footage, right? Are they gonna have gameplay footage? There's gameplay footage. So you see this thing, like a pre-recording of a book opening, and they give you a sort of like, this looks like vintage Japan back in like some kind of Edo era or something like that. Now granted, I say these words, I don't know what they mean. My knowledge on like vintage Japan and stuff like that is based on anime and like, you know, samurai shit. So and when I say it's based on that, like you know, surface level shit. Like I've seen it in anime and I'm like, oh, this was in, you know, Samurai 7. This is brilliant. This is not like to say that I have any experience and I've never done any sort of like research in Japanese history to any, you know, serious extent. So anywho, so it's like set in this sort of like, you know, vintage Japanese time period.
Pokemon roamed as they pleased.
So there we go. It's like a watercolor paint book kind of thing. And then you have this. The first thing I see when I say, I'm like, oh, Breath of the Wild with Pokemon. And then the second thing I noticed was this. Now check this out, right? I was like, Breath of the Wild Pokemon, is that you? And I was like, why do those textures look so shit? Like, these look like some super low-res shit-ass textures. And I was like, no, can't have that. That is not, like, really? But I was like, give it a chance, Q. This is early build. This thing is coming in 2022. They're probably going to polish it up or blah, 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 whatever have you. So I'm like, let's see that. So it says gameplay footage is not final, right? So then we see this character running in. Camera zooming in. That's what we like as you're leaving your village for the first time. And then you see full 360-degree camera movement, which your boy likes. This got me excited. When she did, I was like, no way! That little dive roll, and then but then I was like, look at that texture though for the hair in the bush. That did not look good. And then I was like, oh, you just throw balls at Pokemon and just catch them. And it was this. This is where I was like, I was like, is the battle system the same? And my mate is like, I think it is. He knew the battle system was the same. And then the frame rate does not look good in the battle system. But again, I'll chalk it up to like maybe they're still working on it. Look at that. A Pokemon is moving in like 24 hertz, some sort of like 10 frames a second, some kind of shit. It's not like serious battle system frame rate. Look at that. Shit's on some slow ass frame rate. But this got me excited actually. Cyndaquil be a starter again, and you guys know I reps for Typhlosion. Typhlosion is the best fire starter ever. And if you don't believe that, you suck. And you don't know anything, because you're just a hater, and Typhlosion is the best. And everyone who thinks otherwise is a hater, and don't know that, you know, Gen 2 was the best, and Cyndaquil was the best starter in Gen 2, and Typhlosion is the best Pokemon ever. And yeah, the rise of my favorite Cyndaquil named Chad will return again, and it'll be awesome, and all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, but they've mixed the starters. You've got that bush bird thing and that seal. Look, I don't care about them others, right? We see Cyndaquil and we're like, we reps for Cyndaquil, right? So I was like, yes, very nice. So then they keep doing this sort of like artwork thing, sort of vintage Japanese style. I'm like, I'm feeling that. That looks nice. Looks pretty cool. Pretty chill. And then what do we get? What do we get? We get... Let me see if I remember here. Then they drop Arceus in. So it's like, title card, this is the Pokemon that the game is going to be based on. Now, I'm wondering, do you actually catch Arceus in this game? Or is it just like, going to be like an event or something? So you have Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? This will actually be the first game you can officially catch Arceus in, like throughout the regular gameplay, as far as I know. You know, without having to use some kind of cheat or something. So, we don't really care about what this bloke is saying here. So let's just like, boom, this is what he's going to explain the gameplay and stuff like that. We don't need his explanation. Alright? No, we just skip ahead a bit. And so Homeboy is just going to like tell you like, oh, you know, the gameplay has changed, la-di-da, who's developed by, and he's talking about the Diamond and Pearl one. And then when you skip ahead, he takes a little more time to talk about some shit, and then he goes to this game again. So he goes back to Pokemon Legends Arceus, and he's like, you know, telling you like he's explaining what it's about, you know, Pokemon roam freely and la-di-da, and swiddle, all that kind of good stuff, you know. Let me see.
In this era, people have journeyed to Sinnoh from all over and founded a prosperous village in the hope of learning more about this land. As for these three Pokemon, Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott, it seems they were brought to Sinnoh by a certain professor who encountered them while traveling around various regions. You'll set off on your adventure after receiving a first partner Pokemon of your own from this professor.
So standard Pokemon affair, you meet a professor, gives you 3 choices.
With the village as your base, you'll venture out to the different corners of the region on your quest to create Sinnoh's very first Pokédex.
So basically, you have a base of operations of village. I'm assuming the village will probably have something where like some sort of building mechanic where you can build up your village and, you know, do quests for people and make the village better. Because generally speaking, I'm assuming this Pokemon game is all about exploration and not about battling like you know, gyms and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be more about the exploration of, you know, Pokemon. And then I'm assuming like you be exploring the world and you see a random Pokemon in the distance looking all far off and all that kind of stuff. And actually, I'm kind of excited for that. No lie, I'm actually curious, like, you know, because you can see everything in the distance, and I'm thinking like, oh, imagine if I go to that cliff in that distance, that hill somewhere far away, and then I encounter something new. Maybe I find a secret path or a hole or a cliff. This is the kind of thing that I could get behind. I could get behind the exploration in this game.
Even in this era, wild Pokemon can be caught with Pokeballs. You can also engage in
This is where I'm not fancying. The battle system is the same old shit that we've always had, right? 4 choices, right? 6 Pokemon in your thing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pokeballs there. And you know, you have your standard level system, your HP, all that kind of crap, right? And you choose an attack, and then your Pokemon does it. You know, regular PP, HP kind of nonsense, right?
Sharpen your skills for both catching and battling Pokemon, and strive to complete your Pokedex.
I mean, seriously? They couldn't have like done like a different battle system? I mean, the battle system is the same old, same old. All right, same old, same old. You know, I tried a Pokeball.
Now for the mythical Pokemon that graces the game's title and story, Arceus. According to legend, Arceus shaped all there is in this world. But how is this Pokemon connected to your journey? The answer to this question and more awaits you in this exciting new action RPG adventure for the Nintendo Switch system.
Not bad. So that's the.
Pokémon Legends Arceus will launch simultaneously around the world early next year.
So it's an early 2022 release, which means that to a certain extent they've done a lot of work on it because we're approaching spring right now, and then it's gonna be summer. The year's gonna fly by. Like 2021 is gonna fly by, and especially people, developers are working from home mostly at this point in time. So realistically speaking, this game is like they've done a lot of work on it. This is basically the polishing phase, you know, going through polishing up stuff, fixing stuff, technical stuff, and all that kind of stuff. So, my opinion, right? My opinion on this is that I'm interested to some extent because I do kind of fancy the whole exploration around the world, finding, you know, different places and different Pokemon and stuff. I'm actually keen on that. I'm actually keen on that mechanic. That the exploration has been updated, and I hope like your character can climb hills and shit like Breath of the Wild style or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. So like you could find areas that, you know, you just look around and maybe there's a stamina meter, or you find some sort of item that helps you escape somewhere or go to a specific location. Maybe like some scuba gear or something, and you can swim underwater, or something. Like you find a vintage version of a scuba gear, and then you go underneath water and you find an underground cave in the middle of some sea or something, and there's Kyogre waiting there like, bitch, I got you, I'm Kyogre, you know. But the battle system does not I just don't fancy the battle system. I kind of wish that it was a big ass battle system that looked different, that had a huge different play style, not just your Pokemon looking at the other Pokemon and you press a button and then even if they wanted to keep the turn based, they could have done it like you know how games like Atelier Ryza, where it's turn based but there's like a meter that goes across for like your turn, but you can actually skip your turn. Like you can actually, if you don't attack, the enemy will attack you twice if you take too long to. So basically, if you were faster, like when a Pokemon speeds up, you can actually attack multiple times. And if you stood on another Pokemon, it would be like, you know, you have that little meter going across, a little bar, like, you know, he's getting to his turn and all that kind of stuff. And then maybe you do something to make a Pokemon skip its turn, and you see it goes back to the top and resets. And I don't know, there's something that just not the same standard. Just like wait and think about it. Like, I wonder, what is my next move? Yes. So this is Pokemon Legends Arceus. My opinion, compared to the last Pokemon game that was released, Sword and Shield, that ain't shit. This Pokemon game actually looks like it could be something. It could be something worth playing, at least from my personal perspective. All right. Frame rate looks like shit. I've been seeing Switch Pro trending on YouTube right now. Sorry, on Twitter. So I'm thinking, maybe if they do release, I don't know where everyone's getting this Switch Pro stuff from. Like, where is it coming from? Because I haven't seen any news today about anything about the Switch Pro. But either way, I'm fancying this, right? Your boy is fancying this Pokemon game, right? He is fancying the look of the overworld thing. I'm in. The battle system still ain't shit. The battle system is still the same old, same old. Your boy don't like that. I want a real battle system with like some, you know, proper tactics and all that. You see this? I don't like this no more. Like this is some boring ass shit, right? But the fact that there's a big old open world and all that kind of stuff, and you can see places in the background and stuff like that, Breath of the Wild style, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff gets me, you know? That kind of stuff gets me, it gets me interested. I mean, just look at that, you know? I mean, looking at the foliage textures, these are some low res textures, and I think that's probably why people are saying maybe there's like a Switch Pro with 4K resolution and maybe better textures and all that kind of stuff, because your boy is not happy with this. The frame rate looks like shit, and the textures look like shit, you know? I'm just saying, like, even if they're gonna use low res, like it's not high resolution, I kind of wish they did something closer to like a Wind Waker style, bright, vibrant colors. These colors are very green and brown, you know, sort of grayish looking colors. The palette is not a palette that I personally fancy. You know, classic, colorful, bright, spritey looking colors would have, for me, would have been the better artistic style to take with this. This one looks like a watercolored painting sort of thing, like they're going for, and that kind of graphical style does not age well, right? Whereas a graphical style is something like, for example, like Wind Waker. Wind Waker still looks good to this day. Like, that shit look like you could release that on like anything and it would look great, you know, because it looks good. It's a beautiful art style. Like, you just up-res that and it's ready to go again, you know. And so this style does not look like that, you know. It doesn't look like something that you can up-res in a couple of years and use again. Like, you're gonna have to redo models or something, or change something. It just doesn't have that vibrant kick to it. But that being said, you can run around the world, and it looks like exploration is gonna be fun in this game. It's gonna be pretty cool. Like, for me, I love mapping, auto mapping in RPG, and this is my kind of shit. Like, seeing this, I'm like, yes, please. I am liking what this looks like. So, anyway, there's my opinion on Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think it looks interesting. I'm actually interested in a Pokemon game again, kinda. I don't like the battle system, but I do like the actual overall gameplay. Looks interesting to me. I mean, granted, we don't have a lot of information other than this, so I am looking forward to the next time they talk about this game and what they have to say about it and all that kind of good stuff. So with that, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys popping by and all that kind of good stuff. You know, hit the like, subscribe, all that kind of blabby bloops and all that kind of stuff. In the next video, I will try to get a waifu tale video up as soon as possible. You know, life is it's complicated. That's the word, complicated. There's a lot of things I'm trying to do at the same time, and I haven't gotten around to the waifu tale list video, and that's a terrible excuse, and I need to get on it. So anyway, that being said, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, like the video, like really do like the video because it helps. You know, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon, all that kind of good stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You know, if you think that I'm being too harsh on Pokemon, be like, Q, you ain't shit. And I'll be like, no, you ain't shit for liking Pokemon still. But anyway, that being said, thank you very much. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.